Alright, so we're back once again. This time we're playing the Kriegsmarine Bismarck, tier 8 German battleship. I got this ship a while ago, and I could never really get into it. The shells seemed very hit or miss, and the shells still are very hit and miss. But I decided to give it another go, and well, I think, obviously I upgraded some modules too, and I think I'm starting to come around to it. I'm starting to enjoy it a lot more.
Enemy force detected.
It really does reward that kind of go-in playstyle where if you get within maybe 13 kilometers, under 14 kilometers, the guns can be extremely effective. Now you may be wondering, why is the teams like that? Why ranked isn't out yet? Well, this is what happens when you play World of Warships late at night, where there isn't that many players on, and you end up getting teams like this and enemies that play, well, a bit strangely, just to put it lightly. So we're going to start off, we're going to charge towards this island. We do get spotted, but again, they have a Bismarck and a Tirpitz on the enemy team, so I'm not really worried about being shot at. As the enemy carrier goes for a torp run, I don't think he hits any. So we line up a shot in the Otago. Again, we are fairly long ranged, so any shots I do launch, I don't ever expect them to do considerable damage. Or if they do considerable damage, it's always it's a surprising event, put it like that. So we're going to creep behind this island, use it as protection, and just try, if any ships get too close, again, 10-14 kilometers, we're going to open up on them and devastate them. And I don't know if it was the fact it's late at night, or if it's the fact that it's only a 6v6, but their whole team starts running down the middle of the island. And yeah, so we hit the Cleveland, we get a citadel, and at this point I'm in disbelief. He doesn't change course, I don't know what's happening, so I line him up again. He's at 11 kilometers this time, so again, the shells are fairly accurate from this range. Fire again. And we end his game. Again, I don't care what cruiser you are, but if you're steaming full broadside against any kind of BB, you have to question what you're doing, to be honest. It's not going to end well. Then we have the second cruiser, the Otago. We head in for another citadel, take 16k off him, and now he realizes to turn away. Now we are setting full broadside to the Bismarck and the Tirpitz, but with the German turtleback armor, I'm not expecting all that much damage to be taken. Again, we get hit with a couple of shots, we drop from 64 to 51. And considering the fact there is only 6 players in this game, that's fine for me. I mean, like, the Bismarck isn't going to drop me, neither is the Tirpitz, in the time it takes to end the game, so overall I'm pretty happy sitting like this. And I'm not sure, like, I did some reading, I don't know if it was the Bismarck or if it was the Tirpitz, but one of them in real life, Devstruck, the HMS Hood, basically got the perfect fire on a shell. It, I think, was a plunging shell, went straight through the deck and hit the one component room in the entire ship of HMS Hood that held the ammunition that wasn't appropriately armored, and just blew it to pieces. That
Torpedoes to port.
How unlucky do you have to be for that to happen? As I nearly turn into Edinburgh's Torps. But yeah. And Hood at the time was probably the biggest battleship on the Royal Navy fleet, so That was a huge loss from such an unlikely event. And this is another thing I forget to mention. The German secondaries. Really, really top tier secondaries. I think on this ship they're at 9.5. Although I could be wrong on that. Maybe a little bit less, maybe 9.3, 9.4. But they really are one of the strong points of this line and of this ship, to be completely honest. Which doesn't have all that many strong points. I mean, the guns can be inaccurate. They're not as tanky as maybe the Russian line, Russian bias. So, like, having at least one good point is, I suppose, something to be happy about. But again, not all that much to praise about this line. But of course you can have fun YOLOing down the middle of the map. And it is fairly tanky, so sometimes you'll survive. But besides that, not a whole lot of reason to play them. So we're going to finish off the Tirpitz, and then we're going to turn towards the Bismarck. Well, as the Bismarck drops. We finish off the Tirpitz, and then it's just a Saipan. At this point the game's over. We've done our job. We've devastated basically 2 cruisers. Haven't lost a single ship, and we're in complete control, and the game's over. And this is one of the points where I think wargaming could really improve the game. There seems to be, at 2 distinct points in the game, there seems to be a lot of lulls. And that's at the start, and at the end when the game's decided. Again, we see the Saipan at like 20 kilometers away, with only the Hipper being able to hit him. And it's probably gonna take another minute for us to actually finish him off in the game to end, even though it's already decided. And I don't know, for me personally, it seems to dull the game down a lot. Makes me kind of, why can't I just get out? We've already won. Why can't why can't we just leave the game? It's kind of the same at the start of the game also. You know, you spend like maybe a minute and a half just getting into position from the starting point, from the spawn. So if a wargaming could find ways to like speed both these elements up, I think it would improve the enjoyment of the game a hell of a lot. But like overall, I think that's probably the main. That and CVs are pretty annoying to deal with. But with that, the game ends. It's GG's, and I'll see you next time.